Imagine you're walking down the street, heading to work, driving your car, drinking your morning coffee. Then, without warning, gravity disappears. Not forever, just 5 seconds. At first, nothing makes sense. Your feet no longer touch the ground. The coffee in your cup rises into the air. Your phone floats out of your hand. Trees stop bending toward Earth. Raindrops freeze in midair, then begin drifting upward. Across the planet, billions of people suddenly lose contact with the ground. Cars leap off highways. Motorcycles spin uncontrollably. Buses lift from the streets. Skyscraper windows explode outward as loose objects shoot into the sky. Inside airplanes, passengers slam into the ceiling. Luggage tears free from overhead bins. Pilots struggle to control aircraft that no longer behave normally. In hospitals, surgical instruments float away. Patients rise from their beds. Doctors desperately grab onto anything bolted to the floor. On construction sites, steel beams, concrete blocks, tower cranes, everything not firmly attached begins to drift. And this is only the first second, because gravity isn't just holding people to the ground, it's holding everything together. The next 4 seconds will become the most terrifying moments in human history. The second begins, and the real nightmare unfolds. Without gravity, the oceans no longer stay where they belong. Billions of tons of seawater surge upward. Gigantic walls of water rise into the sky, carrying ships, ports, and entire coastlines with them. Massive cargo vessels, cruise ships, even submarines, are lifted into the air like toys. Across the world, helicopters suddenly lose the force they depend on. Some climb uncontrollably, others spin into chaos. Airliners traveling at nearly 900 km per hour drift off their expected paths. Inside the International Space Station, astronauts watch in disbelief. For the first time, Earth looks as if it's coming apart. Meanwhile, cities descend into complete panic. Street lights, traffic signals, glass, power lines, everything loose is ripped away from the ground. Millions of people instinctively reach for anything they can hold. Some cling to buildings, others wrap themselves around trees or railings. Many are simply carried upward, unable to stop. Then, the third second arrives. Earth's atmosphere begins to expand. The air around us starts drifting into space. Breathing becomes harder with every passing moment. A strange silence spreads across the planet. The sky begins to darken. Even in the middle of the day, humanity realizes something terrifying. Gravity wasn't just keeping us on the ground, it was protecting life itself. And there are still 2 seconds left. Then, the 5th second ends. Without warning, gravity comes back. Instantly, everything that had been floating begins falling. At the same time, people, cars, airplanes, ships, buildings filled with debris, all rush back toward Earth. The sound is deafening. Millions of impacts echo across the planet in a single moment. Cars crash into highways from impossible heights. Helicopters slam into rooftops. Airliners lose control as they suddenly become heavy again. Some manage emergency landings. Many never reach the ground safely. The oceans return with unimaginable force. The massive walls of water collapse back onto the planet. Mega tsunamis race across every coastline. Entire cities disappear beneath waves hundreds of meters high. Skyscrapers already weakened by flying debris begin to collapse. Bridges twist apart. Power grids fail. Communication satellites fall out of orbit. The night sky fills with streaks of burning debris. Even places far from the oceans are not safe. Everything that drifted upward now becomes a deadly projectile. A single falling car can destroy an entire building. A shipping container can flatten a city block. Within minutes, emergency services are overwhelmed. No country escapes. No continent remains untouched. Human civilization has survived the 5 seconds. But now, it must survive the consequences. And the greatest question still remains. Could Earth ever recover from the day gravity disappeared? The 5 seconds are over. But for humanity, the disaster has only begun. The skies are filled with smoke. Cities lie in ruins. Power is gone. Communication is silent. Across the globe, millions search for their families. Hospitals overflow. Rescue teams work without rest. Yet no one truly understands what just happened. Scientists begin calculating the damage. The numbers are almost impossible to believe. Thousands of aircraft are lost. Entire coastlines have been reshaped. Forests burn where falling debris ignited wildfires. Around the world, the economy comes to a standstill. Food supplies are disrupted. Transportation collapses. Governments declare global states of emergency. But amid the destruction, something incredible happens. People from every nation begin working together. Engineers rebuild bridges. Doctors cross borders to save lives. Scientists create new early warning systems in case gravity ever behaves strangely again. Humanity realizes one unforgettable truth. Gravity was never just an invisible force. It was the silent foundation of every step we took. Every breath we breathe, every ocean, every mountain, every city. For billions of years, it protected life without asking for anything in return. And it took only 5 seconds without it to reveal how fragile our world truly is. So, what if gravity disappeared for just 5 seconds? Humanity might survive, but the Earth we knew would never be the same again. If you enjoyed this journey into one of physics' most terrifying possibilities, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what if scenario should we explore next? Because beyond every question lies another universe waiting to be imagined. Milky Way.